Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted, to address whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life that you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. We are here because God is concerned about that which concerns you. And of course, we are having a little technical difficulty, so I'm trying to resolve that while we are going live. But I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss dating and relationships, whatever's in your heart and whatever's on your mind. God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we are here every day in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you always by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life Delaware, and those of you who have made a weekly or monthly commitment by giving on the Give segment, on the contribution page of our website at New Life Ministries International.com. We thank you for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted. We are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are now live on RadioFreeNetwork.com. You can go to RadioFreeNetwork.com, www.RadioFreeNetwork.com, click on radio, the drop box will appear, click on New Life, and we are live for every broadcast right here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. So as I've always told everyone, we are always live. And so therefore, of course, you can go back and view the archives, but because we're live, if we have a technology issue, you're going to go through that with us. So we appreciate you allowing us to come into your viewing environment, but I just want to remind everyone, anytime there's a technical issue, just bear with us as we get everything uploaded and make certain that we are good for the broadcast right here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. So as always, now you know, for the remainder of this month until June 30th, when we select one listener or viewer to receive a free nutritional counseling with Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, BeccaTheDietitian.com. We are now providing a keyword or key phrase every day. So all you have to do is listen daily to 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, for the keyword or key phrase. And once you have heard the keyword or key phrase, email at newlifepastor@comcast.net or text the keyword or key phrase along with your contact information. One listener and viewer is going to be selected on June 30th to receive nutritional counseling with Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist. So this is our promo for health and wellness, and you will receive your initial consultation the first week of July, and then every month following you will receive a free nutrition counseling. And then we're going to track your progress, and at the end of the year, the first week of January, we're going to invite you onto the broadcast so that you can share your progress, you can share the results of your improved and enhanced health and wellness. So listen for the key word or the key phrase every day. on the 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. So I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your daughter is not living up to her full potential. You want her to stop going from job to job, and you want her to slow down her social life to get more accomplished. And you want to know, how do you make her understand what you really want for her? So let me begin by saying this. It's one thing when we want for other people what we want for ourselves, because we understand that that's really true love, when you want for your fellow man what you want for yourself. Our children are a little different. We want our children to accomplish more than we've ever accomplished. Our hope for them, I will tell you what I always tell my children is, my hope for them is that they'll be greater than I'd ever hoped to be, that they'll be better than I had ever hoped to be, that they'll accomplish more than I have ever hoped to accomplish. Not just what I've accomplished, but hope that they'll accomplish more than I ever accomplished. And what you want for your daughter is for her to have a better quality of life. I get that. You have to understand that, first of all and foremost, that she's going to do what she wants to do because society has taught her to do it. She's allowed society to be her guiding star, for lack of a better term. So you didn't say this in your communication, but I get it. God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life. So I have a clear understanding. She's allowing the social norms of society to determine how she should live. And that's the reason she's not maximizing her potential or living up to, as you said, her potential. It's one thing, listen, I'll even go one step further than that, because it's one thing for our children to live up to their potential. It's another thing for them to maximize their potential. And it's even a greater thing for them to accomplish so much more than the generation before them. We have to recognize, first and foremost, that until she makes the decision to do things not according to societal norms, but to do things according to the best method of accomplishment, she's not going to get where you're going. But here's the good news. She will someday get it. Unfortunately, it may be a little later in life. And you're telling her all of the right things, and you should keep telling her the right things to do. You're telling her to, pick a career, a job, and stick to it. That's the right thing to tell her. I know people think it's okay to just go from job to job. People, particularly millennials, they think it's okay to go from job to job because they're searching for something, but their whole life is searching for something. You've got to realize that until she finds her passion or I should say identifies her passion and finds her purpose, she's going to continue going from job to job because that's what her peers do. Stay at a job for a year, move on to something else. Stay at another job for 2 years, move on to something else. Stay at a job for another year, move on to something else. So before you know it, they're going from job to job. And you don't want that for her. And you're right. She needs to settle into a career and work that to become the best that she can possibly, the best version of herself that she can possibly become. So keep telling her that. It's the right thing to say. Now, she may not do that right now. She's not going to do that right now. But you still need to tell her. The one thing we never want for our children is for someday them to be able to come back and say, "You never told me that. You didn't tell me that it would be this way." We don't want them to ever have that to be able to have that conversation with us. We want them to be able to say, my parents told me, but I didn't do it. And that's a choice. The power of our choices. That's the choice. You either enjoy the results or you endure the consequences. Her social life. Well, here's a news flash for you. This whole social society that we're living in, whether it's social media or whether it's just being social and hanging out and being with, hanging out and being with friends and doing what their peers do, you still need to tell her what you've been telling her, and that is to slow down. Take life more seriously, and you'll accomplish so much more. How do you make her understand? You just continue to share the information with her. Explain to her what she needs to be doing to be successful. And if she takes that information and applies it to her daily life, she will be successful. She will maximize her potential. Unfortunately for her, it's going to be later. It's not going to be now. But you need to be at peace with that. Because as long as you're telling her, as long as you're giving her the information that's necessary to, as you said, live up to her potential, maximize her potential, you're doing your part. And that's all that God requires of us. Because remember, the scripture says that if we withhold the information, if we don't tell them because we don't want them to stop talking to us, we don't want them to, feel like you're pressuring them. Pressure makes diamonds. But here's the reality. If you did not share that information, then her consequences are on your hands, are on your head, because you didn't share the information. But you are sharing the information. She's choosing not to apply the information that you are giving her to her daily life. So how do you make her understand? She has to come into her own understanding. You can give her the wisdom, but she's going to have to come into her own understanding. Unfortunately, because that's the society in which we're living in. It's the time that we're living in. Because people are more concerned about what their peers think than what's most important. So let's just continue, each and every one of us who are parents, telling our children, when we see that there's a pothole in the road or a speed bump in the road, we need to tell them. If they choose to drive into the pothole or roll over the speed bump at a high rate of speed, that's a choice. And they're going to find it necessary to live with the results. Enjoy the consequences. Enjoy the results or endure the consequences. That's as simple as life gets. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you can become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have returned to the office and suddenly one of your colleagues has asked you out to dinner. And although you've worked together for a couple of years, the topic's never, a few years, prior to the pandemic, the topic has never come up before, and you want to know what you should do. Okay, so you're both single. However, often there are policies in place with companies, policies and procedures that preclude two people from dating in the career professional environment. There's a reason for that. But your company doesn't have that policy. And you have to ask yourself, is it worth me dating someone you work with when you don't really know what the outcome of that experience is going to be? So I will say to you that God wants you to walk in agreement with someone. And before you decide to date, you have the opportunity to ask questions that will determine whether or not you can walk together in agreement. You're working in the same professional environment, so you don't have to go through the process of even explaining to him about going to church and out to lunch. You can ask all the questions you need right now. And because you work in the same professional environment, talk to him about where he is in his spiritual walk, where he is in his relationship with God. Talk to him about what his 7-year plan is for his life. Talk to him about those things before you even decide to start the dating process of going to church and out to lunch. And I know under normal circumstances, I would say invite him to church and out to lunch before anything else. But you have the opportunity to ask those questions without disrupting your professional environment, because you start dating and it doesn't work out, and then you both are still working in the same professional environment. Just tell him before you consider going out to dinner, you just like to talk about what it is you both want for your lives. Just so that you know you can walk together in agreement. It's real important that we start doing things differently. It's real important that we make it a point to develop a different methodology for everything we do, but particularly for our personal life and dating life. You don't want to disrupt your quality of life by dating someone you work with who you're not even certain if you two are on the same page. Because the reality is, even though you work together and you have some professional conversations in the past, working in the same professional environment, but you have never broached this subject before. And that's why you both have to be real careful. But now what's happened is you were working together for a couple of years before the pandemic, for a few years before the pandemic, and then the pandemic came. So he never had the opportunity to, well, he did have the opportunity, but he never chose to bring up this topic previously. But now that you've returned to the office, he's decided that he really wants to take you out to dinner, get to know you in a different way. than just in the work environment. Your company doesn't have a policy about you not fraternizing or not dating someone within the company, but you don't want to disrupt your quality of life. So I'm just going to go back to that fact. You don't want to disrupt the quality of your life by getting involved with someone that you work with in a professional setting when you don't really know where it's going to go. So discuss those things, and then you can consider the possibility of beginning the dating process. And the dating process doesn't change for us. It's to church and out to lunch or brunch. To church and out to lunch or brunch. Church and out to lunch or brunch 3 times. And you'll know everything you need to know to determine whether or not you want to pursue a relationship. But let's take it one step at a time. Since the two of you are the two of you are professional colleagues, which is a little different dynamic. So let's just take this step by step before you consent to exploring a relationship. I want to take a moment out to say to all of our listeners and viewers, today's key word phrase is red roses. Daily, right here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, we announce a key word or phrase. And once you've heard that key word or phrase, you can email me at newlifepastor@comcast.net, or you may text the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. We are going to select one listener or viewer who's going to have the opportunity to win a free nutritional counseling promo with Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, BeccaTheDietitian.com, who will provide an initial counseling, nutritional counseling session the first week of July, and then every month following that for the remainder of the year, you will receive a free nutritional counseling session with Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist. BeccaTheDietitian.com. So we will follow your progress throughout the year, and the first week of January we will bring you onto the broadcast so that you can share with us the results of your nutritional counseling, the results of your health and wellness, the improvement of your health and wellness, and your experience having a nutritionist or nutrition counseling. And so every day, call, email, or text, listen to 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, and email or text the keyword or key phrase. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by WarriorCustomGolf.com. Times have changed. There's no need to spend big money for great golf clubs. Warrior Custom Golf believes you should have the ultimate golf experience with quality golf clubs that don't break the bank. You can, if you're a golfer like myself, or you have someone, a significant other, husband, spouse, significant other, or someone in your family who is a golfer, you can order custom golf clubs from WarriorCustomGolf.com, which will not break your bank account. And Charles Terry, which is located in London, the UK, and they also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So you can stop in at the retail stores and see what golf attire they may have, accessories that they may have for you to enjoy, experience, learn the game of golf, enjoy and experience the game of golf. Go to ctshirts.com. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Terry at ctshirts type in the search bar the word golf, and you will see everything that Charles Terry has to offer at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your finances are not on a good footing. However, you are committed to get your finances back on track. You want to know, what can you do to achieve that goal? Okay. First and foremost, you got to have a budget. First and foremost, you have to have a budget. You've got to set up a budget. And if you don't have a budget form, email me and I can send you a budget form. But here's the key. You have to have a budget. And then you have to try to adhere, let me rephrase that. You have to adhere to the budget. You have to make certain that you are following the budget that you have established. Make certain that you have the plan and you work the plan. So you're going to establish a budget, develop a budget, establish a budget, and you're going to follow that budget to the letter. Now, what you will be able to do to increase your savings and investing is to, first of all, have a line item just for that, saving and investing. And secondly, you want to look at your entertainment expenses, because that's going to be a very easy way for you to reduce your expenses and save more money. Entertainment is the biggest cost for most people because people love to be entertained. So that's the biggest cost. Look at your entertainment budget and see how you can reduce the cost of your entertainment or adjust your entertainment routine. If you're someone who goes to the movies regularly or out to dinner regularly, that's a cost that you can reduce because you don't have to do it. That's a choice. In addition to that, working the budget, setting up the appropriate line items for saving and investing, reducing your entertainment costs, and in addition to that, you actually need to stop shopping online. Okay, no more daily deliveries. Stop shopping online and having packages delivered to your front door. It's not something that is going to enhance the quality of your life. It will give you some immediate gratification that is not going to be sustainable. You're just not going to enhance the quality of your life if you're shopping online every day. So you have to stop. And that literally is a problem for a lot of people, is that they have to be online looking for something to purchase every single day. And that, even if you're purchasing every day, that means you become a shopaholic. But if you're shopping online every day and even if you don't purchase, you're still not managing your time effectively and efficiently because you're spending too much time searching for something to buy. And none of us need to be shopping every single day. And God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life, you have packages arriving every single day. And that's not a good habit to get involved in. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast 3D has been brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is